Hi, my name is Andrew Blackwell, and I'm the personal training manager for Anytime Fitness of Luling, Louisiana. Over the past 6 months, I've had the privilege of training one of the most inspiring people that I've ever met, Steve Todd. This video is a short tribute to everything he's been able to accomplish this year.
Well, it's time to start the show. Lost my heart and lost my soul. Now it's time that you won't know. Lost my mind and lost my goal. Not giving in. I'm not giving in. Waste my time, which makes things worse. Lost in my love is cursed. Time to make these things feel right. Let's start this show this time. Oh, I'm not giving it. Not giving it. Not this time. Not gonna give it up. I'm gonna be stronger. I'm not giving up. This time I'm gonna be stronger. No, not giving up. No, not giving in. Not giving in. I'm gonna be stronger. I'm gonna be stronger.
Great goal. 30 to go. Great finish. Great start. 1 to 3. Go, Steve. Good job, Steve.
So, Rev, how did you first hear about Steve Todd?
You know what? I didn't know that he was planning on that venture on that bridge until I saw it in the paper. I never knew that he was. We talked once before. I did. I take that back. We talked once before, and he told me he was going to do it, and I just encouraged him. The man's amazing, and I just encouraged him to don't give up. If he come in last, there's no such thing as last. He's gonna come in first, whatever time. But you know, to have that kind of tenacity and don't let his handicap even disturb him. To do that is amazing.
I hadn't really met Steve up until I was asked to do the bridge run for him. I was already signed up to do the bridge run, but when I heard his story, I decided I wanted to do this for him.
How has Steve's accomplishments inspired you?
Steve's accomplishments is amazing. When I look at that man, I just see total amazement in someone. For him to do the things he's done and come as far as he's come is just, it's amazing.
What do you think about him doing it and
accomplishing it, finishing it.
Well, knowing his medical history, I think it's a great achievement. And it takes a lot of dedication because I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So he accomplished something that I couldn't.
So, what can you describe, a little bit how you felt when you heard that he finished it and he completed the whole bridge run?
Well, I was at the finish line. Of course, I was crying, and I'm very proud of him. He's an awesome guy.
So, how did you react when you heard that he did cross the finish line?
I'm saying again, amazing. He did something that was totally impossible for anybody to do in that, I seen him walk around here and I didn't know how he was gonna come out. But then after I seen in the paper, I caught in the paper that he had did that, and that just, my church and all just prayed for him.
If you could describe Steve in one word, what would it be?
Hell of a nice guy. Always positive, never negative. Always a positive guy, always with a smile, love to work out, and love life.
I first started working with Steve around September of last year. He had a goal of completing the bridge run, something that has been a long-standing tradition at our club. He suffered a stroke, paralyzing his entire right side of his body. We began with some in-club training methods, trying to strengthen quad strength, doing some step-ups with risers and different things like that.
Because I'm looking at you like you're weird, doesn't mean I think.
I'm so glad I got that on camera.
That's it. One more. Really good one. I'll pick it up. That's it. Perfect.
Shortly after, we moved on to actually walking at the bridge part. There's an incline path for bikers to use, and we utilize that to kind of simulate the bridge run. I talked to several physical therapists, and one of the main things that they told me was, we had to increase not only his quad strength, but his quad endurance. So I had him start, using the stairs as part of the training method. I remember when we first started, we got into a little bit of an argument. His physical therapist always told him to step up with his dominant leg, putting all the weight on the left side. Through the course of our training, I explained to him that for training purposes, we needed to use both. And you can see in the video, his first day out on the stairs was very rough, very slow. By the time we were ready to run the bridge run, he was not only using the right side, but he was using alternate legs to climb the stairs, which I thought was just a tremendous accomplishment.
Alright, so we're here at the levee for Steve's first time going up. It's a little windy today, but we're going to give it a shot. How you feeling, Steve? That's a big time win. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go 2 up, 2 down. Big lap, go straight up, straight down. No, come on.
because this is the way I was taught.
Okay.
This is the proper way.
Says so.
I'm going to bring my therapist to you and never yell at you.
Alright. I'll talk to him.
You happy?
Yep.
I'm not.
I know you're not. Take your way.
The way I'm supposed to.
Yeah. Quote unquote right way. Alright, that right leg's dragging up against these steps. Try and clear it. Alright, not my way.
No. It's all in my head.
The stairs weren't the only thing that gave him trouble. The first day, I remember him telling me one of his biggest fears was actually falling. It's funny now, it wasn't funny then, but actually falling down. So as we went downhill, I actually had to walk in front of him just to kind of give him that ease of mind that, you know, I wouldn't let him fall, he was going to be okay. And, you know, the thing about Steve is he got over his fears very quickly, and just, you know, continue to work every day until, you know, I could walk just alongside of him, you know, as if we were walking on flat surfaces.
All right, Steve, what are we, 3 days out? 3 days out from the bridge run. There's a 40% chance of lightning, but I don't think it's going to happen. So,
Today's a good day.
how you feeling? You feel like you're ready to do it?
I'm ready.
All right, we're going to hit the stairs.
When did you join Anytime Fitness? Can you tell us a little bit about that day you came in and what you thought about the club and the staff?
When I did, that was a year and however many months, to 4 months.
What made you join Anytime Fitness, you know, originally?
Well, I was walking around my block and my doctor says that's not enough. So I got myself a trike and I was riding that around to Winn-Dixie and back and things like that, but it was too scary.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, out of the blue, I received this piece of paper from Anytime Fitness that says, come by. Apparently I qualify for silver sneakers, and I said, I'll go give it a shot. So I called him up and said, give me my card. And then as soon as I came in, showed it to you, Sam, and to Terry Ann, and that's how I started.
When you joined and you were given the free session with Andrew, what was your first impression of him and how'd you like the workout with him?
There, and then eventually I said, well, I need to do other things besides cardiovascular, so I said, I need to get some weight training. So I said, what can I do? And you said, I have to see this guy. And then he gave me a few things to do, nothing too major. And then he slowly increased that a little bit.
While training for this, what were some of your biggest challenges that you had? And what were some of the things you were a little bit nervous about?
And then one day I came in and I said, can you guys show me how to walk on the treadmill? As scared as that was, I did that. And I slowly built that up from 0.5 speed wise to 1.5 or so, and I slowly increased the thing to bring it up to a level 3, and then I said, okay. Then I came to you and I said, if I had this crazy notion
I remember that day.
of going on this bridge run, or because it's a walk too, I said, how can I emulate that on the treadmill? And you said, okay, go walk 20 minutes at level 5. And I mean, I remember going, 5, oh my God. I've just barely got to 3. Now you're talking about 5. Of course, I'm thinking of myself. It was like this, right? I was like, okay, 5, I can handle it. Then you said 10 minutes at level 10. I went, my mind was like, you have to be absolutely insane. Level 10. And then I know what you said, but at that time my mind was like, you said do 30 minutes at 5 after that, okay? But still, I was like, that was my most wigged out moment.
Really?
Yeah, because I had to slowly bring that thing up to level 10. I was like, you have to be crazy. Who does this? Mm-hmm. Or down a bridge, because as hard as it is for y'all to understand, downhill was and still is my biggest fear.
Mm-hmm.
What was your first impression of the club and the staff?
Well, didn't I just? I whenever I needed anything, all I have to do is ask, and no matter how crazy it is,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yep. Okay.
And you know, you guys are wonderful. You know.
What made you decide to do the bridge run? And was it your first 5K?
I said, well, if they can do it, I mean, I figured I could walk. It's walk, right? I figured I know I could walk 2 miles. At this point, I didn't know what a 5K was. Since I've learned that 5K is 3 miles, so 3 miles, 2 miles isn't that terribly different. And I already walked from my house to Winn-Dixie and back is a little over 2 miles. Mm-hmm. So if I can do that already, I'm not that far. Now, didn't have to climb any bridge.
Were you ever nervous that you weren't going to be able to finish?
Are you kidding me?
I knew that was coming.
You and Terry Lynn would have, as you said, you would have carried me across the finish line. There was no way that I was going to put up with that. I was going to cross that finish line. Like I said, my ankle was aching me, my brace was aching me and hurting me, but I figured I was you're just going to get there and take off my shoe, and I was going to have blood on my ankle. I just knew it, but it wasn't. But
So the day of the bridge run, there were probably about 100 people, members, police officers, all cheering for you at the finish line. How did it feel to inspire a whole community?
that's a tough question. I don't know. I never really thought about it as that way. Mm-hmm. I was thinking to myself, and I had thought about this, because a lot of people had things written in shirt, finish strong and things like that. So I was thinking I should throw my cane and walk across the finish line, but I was afraid that I would trip and fall flat on my face, and you know, so I said no, I'm gonna keep a cane. Mm-hmm. But I saw those people, and you know, most of them wearing purple shirts, mm-hmm. and I was like, wow, you know, mm-hmm. it is something that I'll remember.
Mm-hmm. What was going through your mind as you crossed the finish line, the last few steps?
Besides taking my cane and bat.
Besides that.
Besides batting Andrew? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Just it was done, and I hadn't really even given a thought of what's next.
So when you crossed that finish line, you were basically like relieved, like you did it, it was done. You did it. You crossed that finish line.
I was happy, and nobody had to carry me. I was gonna get 2 women carrying me across the finish line. Oh my God!
That would have made for a good picture, though, wouldn't it?
No. No.
Can you tell us a little bit about your stroke 5 years ago? About that time during your life
We talk about when I had the
when
stroke.
you had your stroke.
Well, what? I did some stuff on my computer. This was late at night, about 2 o'clock in the morning or so, and I shut down my computer, and all of a sudden, actually, the computer was still on. All of a sudden, I found myself on the floor, and I thought, what, my chair broke? And I went to try to get up, and I couldn't move. I said, my entire right side was like dead. I don't know if you've ever gone to sleep on your arm and you go, that's exactly what it felt like, except you have dead weight that you can't fathom what that feels like. And I thought, something is weird. And I tried to stand back up, and I couldn't even get up to my bed. I said, I don't even know what's going on here. And I managed to got out my bedroom and yelled out to my son, I think I've had a stroke, call 911. I was thinking about that myself. What happened after that, I really don't remember. Mm-hmm. I do know that the ambulance came there, but I really don't remember. I know I made it to East Jefferson Hospital, and they understood what type of stroke I had. If I would have been at any other hospital, very possible they could have killed me. Mm-hmm. Because I had a bleeder in the brain. And if they tried to thin my blood out, which what they usually do with people with strokes, that would have killed me.
Mm-hmm. When you first had the stroke in the hospital, what did the doctors initially say?
As far as walking and stuff, all the things that I can do is through the therapies and things, I couldn't walk. So I was stuck in a wheelchair. And I absolutely hated it because I couldn't do anything. If I wanted to go through my house, the chair doesn't really fit most of the places. I couldn't use the chair if I had to use the restroom. It's awful existence. So I had to figure out a way of getting out of that wheelchair. And so eventually I did learn to stiffen my leg so I can just get around with a cane, or I had another thing, I forget what they call it, but I got this other thing that I walked around with for a while, and I talked my doctor into letting me walk instead of being in a wheelchair, and she said, yeah, you can do that. I said, good. Now, it did take a long time to walk, but it beats anything.
April's a rough month for you. What was the significance of completing this challenge at that time? And what kind of, I guess,
Well,
challenges?
I would have been a heck of a lot easier for me if it wouldn't have been April. April April the 4th was when my wife passed away. So every time around there, my heart hurts. I don't know the proper term, but and the bridge was April the 5th. So yeah, it did take a lot. But I did what I said I was gonna do.
What do you think your wife would tell you when you cross that finish line?
It would be something that I have to think about. But yes, she would have been proud of me if that's what you're looking for. But what she would have said, I don't know. I do know that I was worried that I was going to get up on top of that bridge and I was going to cry. I really did. But luckily, my ankle was hurting so bad that I didn't even think about it. I wanted to take my glasses and look around and be on the top of the bridge. Go, yeah, I did it. I'm up here on the top. But I said, no, I can't.
If you could tell your wife anything today, what would it be?
That things that she doesn't know? No, I love my wife. I still love her, and I will always love her. And I tell her I love her every day and every night, you know. But it hurts a little bit, you know.
Going through this ordeal, what advice would you give other people who are going through a similar challenge, or maybe going through similar challenges that you did?
Don't give up. You can't let somebody tell you what you can and what you can't do. It would be easy for me to go, I'm going to stay at home and just be a lump on the log. But instead, I'm still trying. And who knows? I want this leg to work. And maybe I could do that run. But that's the dream.
Since joining Anytime Fitness, how has the gym and its staff affected your life?
Well, other than embarrassing me 24 hours a day, no, I'm kidding. I come here probably close to every day of the week to talk to you. I do my workouts in here 2 days a week, 3 days at the river. So yeah, it just a positive steps.
And as we both agree, there is no finish line. So what do you plan on doing next?
So I'm pretty sure I have a picture of the finish line. I'm pretty sure it says finish right above my head. You know? Everybody's like, what are you going to do next? I hadn't even thought of it, you know. And I said, well, I don't know. I guess I could try to lower my times and things like that. But that's it. That seems kind of lame, and that's why I think that doing all 3 runs or walks next year is the next step.
It's the next step.
So to speak. Hopefully lower my time too, but that's not necessarily that important to me. And that would be absolutely fantastic to get the special medallion that has all 3 bridges on it. That would be, and then never do it again. and maybe just do the one out here, because we got the best bridge. We got the best everything here.